Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday. It's January the 12th, and I am here to kind of talk about something new that we're going to be working on this week in math. We've been talking a lot about geometry and shapes, two-dimensional and three-dimensional shapes, and that was kind of last week into this week, quadrilaterals. Today, I'm going to introduce something to you that has to do with geometry. And as you get older, it will be something that will be reviewed and kind of extended as you get older, even into junior high and high school. Today, we're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about points, lines, and line segments. Three different vocabulary words and phrases that you need to know for kind of the beginning, the basics of this geometry that we're studying. So I've got a website that I'm going to use today called Draw Island, and it is a link on your calendar for the week or for today to kind of give you a chance to play around with it and experiment and trying to draw the different words and phrases that I just mentioned. So if you go, there's a link there on the calendar. It should take you right to Draw Island so you can practice on your own. But I'm going to show you today how it works. So today I'm going to start with the word point. And I'm going to click on the word circle over here and then bring my cursor to the screen. And I'm going to draw, it looks like a dot. It is a dot, okay? But in math, we call it a point. And a point is basically a location in space or on a what we call a plane, and not like an airplane. But when I say a plane, I'm talking about a flat surface, like a board, like a piece of paper, something flat. We're not talking about three-dimensional now. We're talking about two-dimensional. So this is what we call a point. Okay, it's basically a dot, and usually points have names. Now, I'm not talking about like, Fred or George or something like that. But when we label names for points, they are usually just letters. Okay. So, let's see. So I'm going to see if I can draw a little text box, and we might name this point A. Okay. And it looks like that. Okay. So I could probably, I don't know if I can move that a little bit closer. It's not going to let me. But that would be point A. I can do another one. Let's draw another dot. Whoops. Now we kind of messed that up. Let me erase this. All right. Go back to circle. And I'm going to come over here and draw another example of a point. Okay. Kind of click and drag. And then I'm going to click on the word text. Get that word off of there. And I'm going to try to go a little bit closer to the point. I'm going to draw a little tiny box. And before I click OK, I want to make sure I put in the point's name. Points are usually named with a capital letter. Oh, that for some reason that moved it all the way up there. A capital letter. So this would be point B. See if I can get it in there again. Okay, I'll click OK. It kind of took it away. But this one's a little bit better. Okay, so I just to kind of show you that points have names. Now I'm going to delete that. So again, that's an example of a point. And actually on my board here, I'm going to draw a point out to the side. And we'll label it. Let's say we would call this point A. Okay, or the one I just drew. Now, we're going to talk about the next word, and it's what we call a line. So I'm going to click on the word line over here, and I'm going to kind of drag it off, and then I clicked it, and it created a straight line, okay? But the thing about a line is lines in geometry, they go forever in both directions, okay? And I can't draw something that goes on forever. So what I do is I put, to show this is a line, I'm going to put what we call arrowheads at the end of the each line, or each end of the line. Okay, that means now that we have a line because it goes forever in both directions. Okay, here's the example of what I wrote on my board. You can see that I put it on this example as well. Now, the other thing about a line is we have to name the line. Lines usually get names. In order to do that, we have to put 2 points on the line. And so I clicked back over on that circle tool and I drew 2 points that live on that line. I can draw more than that, but in order to name a line, you have to have at least 2 points. Okay. And so then I have to name those points. So let's say maybe I'm going to use the pencil tool this time. This is point A. Get it on there. Whoops. Okay. And we'll call this point B. And that's kind of sloppy. You could probably do a little bit better, but that kind of shows that I have labeled 2 points on my line. I'll put it on my board over here as well so you can see it. Okay, so this is line, and I would call this line AB. Okay, that's its name. Okay, I could also call it line BA. So it doesn't matter with a line if I name it in order AB or BA, it means the same thing. Okay, so that's a line. Again, a line goes on forever in both directions. Now, one more math vocabulary word that we're going to talk about is what we call a line segment. Okay, now we just said that a line goes on forever in both directions. A line segment is like a part of that line. So it doesn't go on forever. It's like if we were to cut out a little piece of it and draw it or post it. It's a part. Okay. If you've ever eaten an orange, this is usually the example I go to, and you peel the orange and then you break off the sections. Sometimes we call those orange segments because they're pieces of the entire orange. Well, a line segment is a piece of a line. Okay, so I'm going to draw another straight piece, but instead of putting arrowheads at the end of each, or on each end, we're going to, the way that you show a line segment is you put the points that you need to have. We need at least 2 points to name a line segment as well. But I'm going to put those 2 points on the ends of my straight piece there. So now it shows that line segment does not go on forever in both directions. It has a starting point and a stopping point. Okay, it's just that piece that we still have to name those points. So maybe I'm going to call this line segment CD, or I can call it line segment DC. I can go backwards. Usually we read it from left to right. Same thing up here, but you can name it the opposite name. Okay. So if I was going to draw that on here, again, I'm going to try to use that pencil tool. It's a little tricky, but just to show you, that's a C, and then I'll try to make a D. So that point is C, and this point is D. Okay. I'm usually going to put the letter name right above the point. Okay. And one common error that we have when we write in the points is we put maybe the points way down towards the bottom, or maybe out to the side. On a line, I've seen some people, they will label the arrowhead, but not the point. And so you need to make sure that when you're creating these examples, that your name of your point is put directly here. It's underneath, here it's on top. It just needs to be directly either above or below the line or line segment. And usually when you see see examples online, you will see the point names above. Okay. So that's just a kind of a quick rule and quick explanation about that. So again, we talked today about 3 different words: points, lines, and line segments. And today you're going to do a guided practice where you match the definitions and examples of what each one looks like. And then I also put a link on today's schedule for you to visit this website that I'm on right now, Draw Island, and you can play around with it. If you know how to take a screenshot of what you came up with and send it to me so I can see your work. Have a great day.